Hey guys, Seamus here. Back again. Just arrived there about 20 minutes ago. The 112 scale Tamiya, Nissan Fairlady 240 ZG. It still has plastic wrapping. And let's start this one until maybe Monday week. For reason being, I just got CUDA all flattened down yesterday and polished up. So all the dirt was in the roof more or less and a bit in the boot lid there, trunk. We got that all out. So it's come up pretty well. As I say, I want to get this maybe knocked out between Friday and Saturday. They'll match up with the other one here, the grey one there. And we'll get them on their display case. So once that's done, we'll crack on with this. But in the meantime, we'll have a look here what's in the box. So say it's still in the plastic packaging. So I'm just going to crack them all open. So now, and we'll see what it's all about. So bear with me back in a couple of seconds. Let's open all these packets. Right guys, we've got it all unwrapped. So we'll start off with our chassis here, and then we'll work our way through it. There you go. I imagine it's going to have a lot of parts added to it, so it looks a bit bare now as it is at the minute, but when you get all this running gear up and so forth, drivetrain and so forth, it should really pop. Few mold lines I've spotted around the main shell itself, but we'll get that seen too. Copyright 1972, so it's 50 years old almost. Your final, it's like a final texture to it for your carpet interior tub. Again, some markings on the back, I would say. Tamiya 1972. Then we move on to our dashboard and stuff, steering wheel. Pedals, steering column, your wipers, your wiper arms, clutch and brake pedals. You even got your wee rubbers for the pedals themselves here. And a couple of wee toggle switches. There's 6 altogether here, you can see. Rear view mirror. I haven't came across any flash just yet. Hopefully there is none. But if there is, we'll deal with it anyhow. Not every kit's perfect. So that's our dashboard. Dashboard looks nice. Like those big pinnacles. They have a nice now lit up. And yes, of course, you don't want to light it. Second one is our radiator suspension parts and stuff like that. Belts, I think it's parts of the gearbox. Your battery comes in 2 pieces. Your distributor cap and your starter motor. Radiator cap, top, sorry. Again, no flash on this one either. So hopefully there'll not be any on the other parts. I'm going to try and get a bit of a white background here. I might do a bit better seeing those black parts. Bear with me here. Right, hopefully this is a bit better. Use a bit of white foam board for the black parts. Maybe you'll see a bit better. Second one here is our seats. Again, it's a hard plastic. Strut brace, back spoiler, and half roll cage. I think they're your light buckets. Not too sure. I think they're horns. I think. I imagine they're the back of the headrest. Another part of the console. Don't know what that part is just yet. There's a few wee small switches here. And a couple of wee really tiny parts. See if we can zoom in. Ooh. A bit better. So that's your seats done. Next one is the white part. Sorry, beg your pardon. Wheels. There's a couple of different sets of wheels in this. Plus chrome wheels. So your fats and your skinnies. So these are the steel rims, I believe. Nicely detailed. The lug nuts and all on it. Center console, more paintwork. Exhausts. Grab handles for your door panels, I imagine they are. Don't know what they are just yet. But we'll work right through the instructions and we'll be able to see what the parts are. Got your wheels. Next one is another set of seats. You can do as custom or race. So I custom or race. So again, they're hard plastic. Your fuel tank. More parts for your center console. That looks like a radio. Yep, it is radio. The cigarette lighter. All those retouches are neat. Especially in the scale. They could be easily overlooked. But yep, cigarette lighter. Not too sure what those other parts are just yet. Down the bottom here. Again, I haven't seen any flash anywhere. The other black part is your suspension, so forth. Back to your brake discs, hub carriers, sorry. What's that? Bit of plastic or something. I think these are more suspension struts. I don't know if they give you a sport version of it. Again, nice and clean. Some very tiny parts in this kit as well. So you can see, like those wee parts here. Next one is the final again. That's your back quarters for your interior. So you got rubber texture to it. Your grills for your, anyway, you're going to pick that up. You know, we just make out the grills there for your speakers. So the light's going to catch it. No, they might just about catch it out there. Door cards. Not too sure what that is. Might be something to do with a boot mat. And you have another two rubber caps here of some sort. Another black vinyl rubbery texture again, but softer now on this one. This is for your side strips of the door, seat belts and so forth. Sun visors. I imagine that's for part of the boot maybe. What's it say on it? Datsun on mud flaps. Your gear boot. Gear. For your gear stick. For your rubber bits and pieces, don't know what they're for just yet. Again, nicely clean, nicely molded. Beg your pardon. Back onto our silver parts again. Your engine. Two halves of the engine. You have two halves of your gearbox, your manifolds. You actually get wheel brace. Jack, I think that is. Don't know what that is just yet. Screwdriver, that's neat. That's really cool looking. Wee screwdriver down the bottom there, as you can see. I don't know what these parts are just yet. Again, nice and clean. No flash. The other wheels here we get, as I say, there's two sets of wheels on it. So you've got the aluminium wheels. They're done like a gunmetal grey. I think they're parts of the carburetor. Don't know what these are just yet. I think they're maybe wheel carriers. Same again for this wheel. So you've two, yeah, they're all the same thickness. Nicely molded too. Next one is our lower flange for the front. Might be the back, and then you've got your fluid wheel arches, side bumpers, fenders. I think that's on the bonnet. It goes on the very edge of the bonnet. Don't know what these are. I think they're light pods for the indicators maybe. And then a few other wee small pieces here. I don't know what they are just yet, but not for long finding out. Again, no flash on them anywhere. Really clean, considering its age. White parts now. It might blur it in the camera here. I don't know. No, it seems okay. There's your light pods for the front. Spur wheel well. Number plate backing. I don't know what this is just yet. Maybe part of the bonnet maybe. Don't know what that is just yet. You get two bonnets with it. You get the white one here and the clear one, but they're just going to keep it in its package. So exactly the same. If you just want to display the engine with the bonnet down, the hood, one or depends what you want to call it. The other clear parts are going to stay in the bag for reasons not to be explained. Clean, no scores, what I can see. Your light pods, indicators, side windows, flag windows, your spotlight cover lenses, and your main windscreen. So we'll just keep that in its bag for, as I say, to keep it nice and clean and tidy and scratch free. Second one on the white part is your trunk lid, boot lid, your two main doors, which are nicely molded. There's no real twist in any of the frames, you can see. Don't know what any of the other parts are just yet. I think they're actually parts of the hinges for the doors. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than the GT40 setup. And 12 scale from Trumpeter, the doors on that were shocking. Now we're coming into the chrome parts. These will be staying in their bags just to keep them safe. No scratching on them. As I say on Nissan, overhead camshaft, OHC. Your fan. Other bits and pieces I think are for the carburetors. Looks like a flywheel of some sort with teeth on it. Could be wrong. I don't know until we check it out. Coloured parts are lenses and indicators and so forth, back brake lights, side lights. You know, I'll keep them in the packaging so they don't get damaged and scraped anyway. Some of the foliage parts will stay in the bag here in the box setup. Without any getting damaged. So you got the buckles for the steering wheel, or sorry, their seat belts. I think I moved a number plate, that bigger one. And then I've got some of the flutes for the carbs. Our last chrome part before we come on to our main shell. Again, hubcaps are giving you with this now. So there's three different versions you want to do with this. Custom, rally, or whatever. Again, they look like suspension struts without the springs. Your rear handbrake, it's done chrome, that'll probably be stripped. Then we've got other Fairlady emblems, riding and so forth. They look really nicely detailed. You know, you're picking them up here and that. So you seal them all together. You have your door winders. They look very big for wing mirrors, I don't think. No, they're not wing mirrors. I don't know what they are just yet. I'll check them out. You got brake discs here. Don't know what that part is just yet. I think that's actually a front bumper chrome part. Nice. Last one is all the wee bits of hardware. There's springs, and you get a wee screwdriver with it. Imagine that does for the screws, just about screwed together. And they're actually metal springs done black. So we'll keep them in their bag. There's a couple of pins in there as well, don't want them getting lost. I imagine these are for the heating and so forth, the fuel and whatever else. Our tires, you get the full set of tires, 5. No particular, sorry, there is Bridgestone radial, nicely molded, bit of a fine line in around the middle of the tire all the way around. But a wee bit of paper, or you can put it on the drill, what I normally do, and just turn the drill on and then hold the stick till this emery stick or whatever you want to use, and just take it down ever so slightly. Rather than trying to do it like this all the way around with your hand or your finger, you're going to run into maybe a flat spot or somewhere. Lovely smell too. Nothing like a nice smell of rubber in the morning. Last part here. Well, actually, it's only a leaflet. Don't sniff your glue. Don't drink your paint. We all know that. There you go. Big enough for 12 scale. I have a load of 12 scales I've built over the years. I don't think I've ever showed them. I think it showed the Chevy Bel Air 12 scale there way last year, before last. Anyway, there's a few mold lines in around this here. Actually, some really rough ones are in the back end. But as I say, they're a little bit of well flattened down. Even across the front fenders there, the wings, there's a mold line. Both wings. But other than that, I can't see any major flaws in it or any excess lines. It is quite heavy there on the edges where it reaches the A-pillar. Same for here, but as I say, you sand them off. There's 3 holes that were drilled out from the opposite side here. One in each fender, front wing, for your wing mirrors. Other than that, I can't see nothing else. Just those wee flares, or sorry, just those wee ridges on the edges of the panels. But nothing major. Again, copyright 1972. Our Dazzles. I'll have a quick look at these. I don't think I'm using them, to be honest. They're just still on the floor, sure. Right. Oh. You get Dazzles for the seat belts. These actually like their material. Yeah. They're actually like the real material, believe it or not. They feel like that too, like a nylon sort of thing. So you just have to cut them out. What are these? I think they're for your mirrors, maybe. Rearview mirror, I don't know. If we're wrong. There's a clear part in there as well. Then our Dazzles themselves, you get this option if you want to go to the rally version. Number 3, Fairlady. Copyright 1973. Quite thick on the Dazzles, so they are Tamiya. I've had a couple of mishaps over this past while back on some of the Tamiya Dazzles. More so on the 6 scale Tamiya Honda. But I don't know if we're going to be using these or not. I don't know why I want to build it to custom for the race. Anything can happen between then and now. So that's your lot, guys. Sorry, instructions. Just get a quick glance through these instructions here. Colorways. I don't know what color I'm going to go down, to be honest. I think some of these older cars do suit the darker colors. Not all of them, but just depends on what type of car it is. But we'll start off with front one, obviously. So your front one's calling for your stage 1, part 1 here. It's coming off your suspension setup. Right through to stage 5 for your back, your discs, so forth. Stage 6 is calling for your, what is that, steering rack? It looks like a steering rack, yeah. And then your back anti-roll bars and so forth. Back suspension. Continuing on with your back suspension again. It's nicely laid out too. It's calling out with paint codes. Obviously Tamiya paint. Still with our back section here. Going your cradles onto your back end of the chassis. Spare wheel well and so forth. There's a lot of marking out here where no parts had to be glued, so if you want a freewheeling, pay attention to all this section here. Right through to section 11 here, it's still calling for no glue to be used. Section 12 is the start of our engine. Gives you the 1-to-1 scale here on the instructions for your final tubing for your your plugs and so forth. Your distributor cap again is calling out for your size and your tubing. It's meeting up with your gearbox housing. So your gearbox is split into 4 different parts. Your bell box itself and the other part that goes on till the end of the bell box housing. Step 15, we've got the gearbox and the engine mounted together here. It's showing those chrome parts I showed you our second ago. So obviously what's going to, they're actually the wee wraps that holds the leads together. So we can hold calling for wee chrome strips. That's a neat touch. Starts part 16, section 16, sorry, is your timing belts and so forth, distributor oil filter, your alternator, and your wee bracket holds your alternator together onto the main part of the engine. Step 17 is our carburetors, and then our fuel lines again with that the rubber tubings calling out here in millimeters, 15 millimeters and 65 millimeters. And it's calling for instant glue, which they class as super glue. Section 18, what is that? That is your brake servo. That's multi-parts. It's calling for a lot of different colours in that part alone, which is all numbered on the instructions, so it's quite easy to follow. Your battery, again, 3 different parts. Your tray, your main battery, and the top of the battery. It's a very plain looking battery. I might see if we can maybe print one off on the printer. Then your steering rack. Again, no glue, so your posable steering. Section 20, you're starting to lower your engine into the chassis itself and get your drivetrain connected up into the back differential. Section 21 is calling for your radiator and your pipes and so forth to be plumbed in, and then section 22 is moving on to our fuel tank and our exhausts. Section 23 is our pedal box. Trying to keep my big head out of the road, guys, sorry. And then we have section 24, your rim choice. Now, as I say, you have 3 different setups on your rims. You have the steelies, the hubcaps, or the aluminium wheels. Section 25, you're starting to work inside now. Look at your bell box, so your pedal box into your chassis tub itself, interior tub, center console, and then your back quarters for your upholstery. Spare wheel is in the spare boot wheel, sorry, get it right. And then we're moving on to section 26, which is going to be all your lights, your Dazzles, your speedos and so forth, steering wheel, steering column. So that works along the same lines that I've done on the CUDA. Lighting the CUDA dashboard up, so that'll be neat. And it's actually the same way as they've done on the motorbike as well. So that'll be a neat wee touch. Section 27, we're moving on to our dashboard, connected onto the interior tub. Again, it's not calling for any glue here, so pay attention when you're gluing your dashboard in, not to get any on the steering column. Otherwise your wheels are going to be locked in, but we're position they're left on the chassis. Section 28, again, you two different types of seats here. Your race and then, what do you call it, custom. Seat belts, again, it's calling for it here. Your PU for your buckles and so forth. Nicely explained. Section 30 moves on to your roll cage, getting your seats lowered in, depending on what seat you're going to go for. And then section 31 is calling for those hinges for your doors to be open and closed. So again, careful glue in there, it needs to be applied. Section 32 is our back tailgate with your hinges again, careful glue involved there, and your glass work has to go in. The taillight buckets on section 33 shows you here how to be glued in place. Section 34, it's saying here to make some holes. I think that's the holes I was referring to for your two wing mirrors. And your sun visors and so forth, rear view mirror, grab handles, and you're attaching your boot lid trunk to the main part of the frame of the car. So again, careful glue in here is going to need to be applied. Back of the car now, section 36, we're calling for light surrounds on your brake lights and so forth, number plates. You get your Dazzles, whatever call you want, or what choice you want to do in your Dazzles, or custom them yourself, one or the other. Again, it's calling for your chrome parts, your Fairlady to be added to the back of the spoiler. Your indicator lenses, sorry, I beg your pardon, your back flag window, front headlights, buckets and so forth, your lenses, again, careful gluing, because that's quite a big clear part for the headlamp. That's the last thing you want is glue on your headlamp. Lower front flange for your front bumper and so forth, a couple of other bits and bobs. Then we'll have a move on to our bumper surrounds. It goes on to the main bumper itself. Your horns, again, number plate Dazzle, your own choice or custom. Attaching the fenders, I'm not too sure. Some of these ones call for some cutting to be done, but I don't think there's any cutting to be done here. No. It just says note direction of your fender, because they all look the same, so just pay attention when you're gluing those on. And then we've got our surrounds that goes on the outside. I imagine they're done chrome, I think. Yeah, they're done chrome, but they're not chrome in the kit. I don't think I've seen them in the kit now, to be honest. I think they might be done black. Then we move on to our doors, your glasswork and your interior panels, hinges, grab handles, window winders, and a few other wee bits and bobs there. So again, some careful glue is going to be needed in around those hinges. Step 42, we're going on to installing our doors onto the main chassis itself. And then section 43 is your bonnet choice, clear or the solid white one I showed you earlier on. feel a wee bits and pieces have to be added to it. Again, some careful gluing is going to need it there as well. Section 44 is calling for the chassis and the sail be married together. There's some rubber stumps, I think they are, for your suspension, I think. So they're not to be glued, it's calling for here. Section 45, again, you have a different call out on the wheel front. The aluminium hood caps or the steelies, the one you want to prefer doing. And then our wipers, section 46, our wing mirrors, a couple of wee odds and ends here, indicators for the front fenders, and your emblems, the Fairlady, again on the chrome. That's it, guys. So that's a lot. So, as I say, the next Monday, hopefully, I'll get a crack at it, and we'll see what it's all about. So it's going to be a nice big piece when it's finished, and it's all lit up and so forth. It would have been nice if we could have got a figure for it, maybe a race figure or some sort, in that scale 1/12. I might have a look through one of the 3D sites and see if there's any on that, maybe download one. But anyway guys, there's 32 minutes coming up, so enough rambling. So you made it this far, fair play to you. But you can't rush these things. If you want to see what's in the box, you have to take your time and just go with the flow. Right guys, my way, so thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all later. Bye.